Hello, so today I'm going to be attempting, first attempt to make homemade donuts. For this you're going to need 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 1½ cups of whole milk, 2 7-gram sachets of dried yeast, a little bit of sugar, just that's for the yeast, a pinch of salt, which I'm going to put in my flour actually. That's 5 cups of plain flour, 2 eggs, 1/4 cup of melted butter, and 1/4 cup of vegetable shortening. For the toppings, I'm going to do a few different ones. With this, I'm just going to make a normal glaze, probably do it pink. Obviously sprinkles to go on top. I'm going to make cinnamon sugar with this, the cinnamon and the light brown sugar, and chocolate, which I'm going to melt, dip them in that and put some sprinkles on top. So here goes, and I'll show you how it's done. So the first thing you want to do is activate your yeast. I've warmed up the milk. It's I think it's 110 degrees. It's like lukewarm body temperature. So cut these sachets over. I'm going to put a little bit of sugar in there. Put both sachets in. Give it a quick little mix, and then I'll leave that to activate. So in my mixer bowl, we're going to add in the eggs, the melted butter, shortening. Give this a quick little mix. I'm going to add the sugar, give that a little mix. So it's been a few minutes, and as you can see the yeast is activated, so I'm going to add that. Just give it another little mix. I'm going to add some of the flour. I've mixed the salt in this as well now. So just a little bit of the flour. Okay. I'm going to add in the rest of the flour, a whole lot. I'm going to put this on my stand mixer for about 5 minutes. You don't want to overdo it, just in case, because if you do overdo it, then it's going to be really tough, and you want it to be really light and fluffy as it's a donut. My dough's been going for about 5 or 6 minutes. Just getting it off the dough hook. I'm just going to move the mixer, and then I'll turn this out onto the side. Okay, it feels nice and soft. Really nice and soft, so I'm happy with that. I've lightly oiled my bowl, so I'm just going to pop the dough in there, just lightly oil on top. Just a little bit, don't want to be too oily. And then I'm going to wrap this in cling film. Let it rise for about 2 hours, and then we'll move on to the next stage. Just wrap this up. Okay. Oops. I'm going to cover that with a towel, and I'll see you in. Okay, so my dough has been rising for about 3 hours actually. We actually popped out to go and buy some of these. I couldn't get a donut cutter. I'm not really sure what size I'm going to go with. I don't have to do the big one or the small one with a little bit in the middle. I might try both, then I can find out which size is the best. So this is how big my dough is. I'm going to take that out, punch that down. Oh, it's massive. Some more flour on top. Then we're just going to roll this out until it's about ½ an inch thick. So now that's rolled out, I did get a baking sheet with some greaseproof paper and some flour on top. This is just where we're going to put them before we, once we've cut them out, so they don't stick. So like I said, I'm going to try one of each size actually. So you're going to dip it in your flour and just make sure you can see. Just going to cut out, do 2 of each, so I can see which one's going to look better. Small one for the middle, and there is, no, that one's going to be too thin. Right, so I'm going to be going with that one, and we're going to place them on the baking sheet. I'm going to let them rise again, and the little one. So won't be using these now. So I've made some toppings. I decided to make some caramel, which is the caramel recipe for my banoffee pie. Melted some chocolate. I've got the cinnamon sugar ready and the pink icing sugar ready. Got the sprinkles at the handy, and I'm going to make a little piping bag so that when I do the caramel, I'm just going to put a little bit of chocolate on top. So but yeah, it should be ready in a minute. They have risen quite well. As you can see here, they've got massive. So should be fun doing them. Just waiting for the oil to get up to temperature, and then I will bake them and show you what they look like. Okay, so I'm going to put the first one in. And do this for a couple of minutes, not even that, each side. You don't want to overcrowd the pan. Okay, so they're done. I'm going to do the caramel one first. It's a caramel one. Then I'm going to brush one with butter. Dip it in the cinnamon sugar. And then I'm going to dip a chocolate one. Sprinkles. I've made a little bag, piping bag, so you go. And that's just 4 ways that you can do it. They look alright, I'll let you know what they taste like. There you go, as you can see, it's lovely and soft. They taste like donuts, they look like donuts. Very impressed with this one. The only thing I don't really like is obviously that it's going to be, that is, you know, fried in fat. But I will be trying baked donuts soon, and I will share that with you and let you know what I think of that. But thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.